shown, I gave to a doctor, Dr. Chang in Taipei, the original, and he made a copy, which is this one, and this copy must be defect, and I'm really sorry. I apologize for that. I'm so touched by this warm welcome here, and I'd like to thank all the people who prepared this event very much. I was also moved to find this beautiful sign in front of your university and this poster. I'm deeply touched. And also I'm very moved that the legacy of my grandfather is alive here. I feel that, and it is wonderful to see you young people being interested in his philosophy, in his life, in what he left us as his spiritual legacy. I'd like to tell you a little bit first about my experiences as a child meeting my grandfather. My grandfather left a profound and deeply cherished mark on me. There was a large affinity, deep love, respect, admiration, and an unending gratitude I felt towards him. In my thorough search to find a practical religion and philosophy, he gave me the answer. I found it in him as a great example in his writings and in his hospital in Lamborghini, Africa. The time that I spent with him each year in Africa between 1958 and 1946 while growing up was of most crucial importance. It brought me a happiness and inner fulfillment that words cannot describe. My grandfather's hospital, the practical realization of his philosophy, reverence for life, left in my idealistic and enthusiastic mind the wonderful impression that Lamborghini was paradise on earth, where people and animals within the mystical nature of the jungle lived in harmony together, and where sufferance found deliverance. The experience that one person can make such a powerful difference gave me hope, courage, and the realization that in whatever life situation we find ourselves, we can do something to contribute to the betterment of life around us, which benefits others and in return ourselves by the creation of a more harmonious world. I was 6 years old when I met my grandfather for the first time. He had just come back from a 9-year-long uninterrupted stay in Africa. My mother, his only child, had longed for this day to come so that he could baptize her 4 children, including me. I clearly remember when I stood before him as he blessed me, and I shyly looked up to this tall, kind man with the big mustache, who from that day on I called grand-père, which is French for grandfather. During all my grandfather's visits in Europe after World War II, my 3 siblings and I would spend vacations with him at his house in Alsace, France. It was such a lovely, warm, hospitable home. We would be amazed at how many guests from all over the world would be received or accommodated each day and be treated with so much kindness. My grandfather made no distinctions between a farmer, a simple worker, a prominent professor, or a member of a royal house. It would be very special to have an intimate family breakfast with our grandfather before all the guests arrive, or to accompany him to the village church where he would practice the organ. On the way to the church, walking through the beautiful farmlands, he would urge us not to pick any of the tempting, lovely flowers, but to respect and enjoy them as living beings. He would ask us to aid an animal which was in distress, as for example, to put in the grass an earthworm stranded on the pavement after rain. A dream came true for me on a memorable spring morning in 1958 when my mother received a letter from her father saying that he would like my younger sister Catherine and me to spend our next summer school vacations with him in Africa. From then on, every year until his death in 1965, I spent the long school vacations with him at his hospital. During this time, I developed an even greater affection and admiration for him. Without many words or commands, simply through his unique example, he influenced my life in depth and gave it an inner strength and richness. In Lamborghini, we people of different nations and backgrounds lived together harmoniously like a large family. We had meals together, we worked together, and we relaxed and celebrated together. Unforgettable to me are the moments after dinner, when the hymn books would be distributed to all of us, and my grandfather would walk over to his tropical piano in the shine of a petroleum lamp. He decided on one song to sing together and start with an improvised prelude, followed by the accompaniment of the song. Despite of the defects of the piano, due to the very humid tropical climate, and due to the destruction done by termites, he managed always to give it a beautiful, impressive sound. My grandfather, whose radiance and influence was continuously felt amongst us, showed much understanding and compassion for people's troubles, and always gave generously of his person and of his time to help them. He loved people as well as animals, and he was deeply interested, especially in the problems of young people, and he enjoyed speaking with them. I was very impressed to see that my grandfather allowed relatives of the patients to remain in the hospital as long as the ill ones were being treated. He realized the therapeutic value of family warmth before modern psychologists stressed it. I never saw any human neglect of patients there, as I've seen it in Western hospitals. My grandfather's hospital was built like